Alright, so this is going to be a quick tutorial on how to properly do no-cut segments for this game. So we've got two options for how to get no-cut. There's the executable way, where you download the executable that always has no-cut on, and then you can enable it through Cheat Engine. The Cheat Engine way is more robust and honestly more recommended just because you're able to set a skip cutscene button, which helps prevent a few issues, including some rooms not having proper sound, and then sometimes getting dropped out when you were already dropped in between intros, stuff like that. To prevent that, you can just use Cheat Engine and set a hotkey to skip cutscenes rather than the game skipping cutscenes whenever. And so the reason that uh, you can just skip cutscenes and you're not losing time is because there's a setting in the auto splitter, which I'll go over first real quick. So if you go to edit splits and then you go to the auto splitter, you'll want to activate it obviously, and then in settings, so you'll see here there's this option, pause timer during cutscenes. So if you check this, then the timer will pause during every cutscene. The reason we care about this is the game is hard programmed to load each cutscene for like 46 frames or something like that. So that's time lost in your segments, and you usually have to retime. But with this auto splitter, you do not have to do that retiming. So you'll want to check this for uh, the auto splitter, and you want to also um, make sure you have your timer set to the correct offset, which you can find in the practice sheet. And so now for the actual no cut, in the description there's going to be two links. There's going to be a link to this GitHub, which has the cheat table, and then there's a link to this Google Drive, which has this executable for the no cut. If you need any extra help, go look at the setup guide. That's also going to be linked in the description. That goes over how to download Cheat Engine and a little bit more about the executable stuff. So I'm going to skip over the no cut because all you need to do is put that exe into your LIJ directory. So like into your game files, put the no cut exe in here. You need to make sure it's named legoindie.exe or the auto splitter won't work. So if you're going to do this, I do recommend having a separate LIJ directory just for no cut, just to make it simple. Or you can make a script to flip them, like the names. Or you can just do it manually. This is another reason why I prefer the Cheat Engine. But to go over Cheat Engine real quick, you'll download this cheat table, whatever the one here is. It might not be called this by the time you're going through this, but you'll download that. I'll go ahead and download it. So you'll click download raw file, and then if you have Cheat Engine, you can just open this. If it asks you, click yes. If it asks you, click yes to all. And then you want to select LIJ, click yes, click yes. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find cutscenes. And here is where you want to set your hotkey. So this would let you enable no cut. This does the same thing as the executable, but it's just a checkbox. So you can switch between. So if you wanted to use just no cut without the skip cutscene, you can use this checkbox. Or you can use the skip cutscene, which will both skip the cutscene and end the cutscene's sound, so you don't have to hear it. So to set a hotkey for this, you want to click on this box. You want to right click it, set change hotkeys, create hotkey, and then I set it to C. So type like the hotkey, what you want the hotkey to be, and then set it to freeze. And then you can name it if you want, and then hit apply. So I'm going to remove this because I don't want to. But that's how you look at the hotkey. So let me show off real quick what this will look like actually. Let me switch. So now we're here. I have my hotkey set. I've got my auto splitter open, or my LiveSplit open with the auto splitter on. Let me open up the game. So you'll see here, interesting spawn there. But so you'll see when I hit this cutscene, the timer's gonna pause, and then when I click my skip button, it'll skip, and then let me show that again. So like the timer's going. So if I let's see. Hold on. Undo. So the timer is paused, and you do just want to care about LRT here. If I hit skip, it'll skip the cutscene. So that's the recommended way to do no-cut segments. You'll just want to skip every cutscene. This also gives you a little bit of breather time on the cutscenes rather than going right into the next room, which is nice because that's what it'll actually be in any percent. And so I do want to go over real quick. This is how you'll do your segments, and then there's two more things to talk about. One, with no cut, you'll see I have this CS split here for cutscene. Some rooms will split on the cutscene, so you'll want to put a blank split there. Namely, I think 1-1 does that from loading from the college, and then I know 2-1 does that. That's okay. I don't know all the exact rooms where that happens, but that's fine. And the other thing is how to actually get your final time. So you won't need to retime anything. You'll just need to add your final time to what the timer says. So like say I got like 2 minutes on my splits. To get your final time with cutscenes, let me switch over to, you go to your sheets. I guess you can go to resources. Wherever you have this sheet, there's the cutscene timings sheet. And here, there's a couple boxes here. If you set your offset properly, these are the 3 boxes you want to work with. Eventually, we're going to add these 3 boxes added together in these boxes to make it simpler. But you just want to add these 3 together and then add that to your final time. Because that's, you don't want to include the opening cutscene because you already included that in your offset for the splits. So a good way to add your time together, say you're at your final time. So my time was like 2 minutes 1 second on LiveSplit, and say the these cutscenes added together, which you could do in sheets, you could do it wherever. You could do it this way. There's better ways to do this. We'll probably just have one cell there, but then you'll just add. So add. So if that were the final time, you would just add it. This website's nice. But that's how you'd get your final time for the no-cut segment. And so that'll make sure that as long as the auto splitter is working, then this should be your final time. If you don't have the auto splitter on, I guess I should show real quick what that looks like. So if I just have enable no cut, you'll see that it's a game will pop up. Yeah, there we go. So you'll see whenever I hit this, the cutscene's gonna it's gonna load and then it's gonna go past it. So that's fine, but that's what the auto splitter is for, is to get rid of that little error. If you have any questions, let me know, or ask someone else who would probably know. But yeah, that's about it for this tutorial.